back, but I'm better than ever. Some thoughts I had to sever, storms I had to weather. Wonder was it worth the effort? A new endeavor, now I put the biz before the pleasure. There's no pressure, every day's a new adventure. And we back. Sak Pase YouTube, welcome back to Sak Pase. Today, I'm going to be doing an island tier list. And as an island man myself, by way of both Trinidad and Tobago, and Haiti.
That's right, Wyclef, playboy.
I know a thing or two about an island now, so let's get down to it. Now, full disclaimer, I did not make this tier list, so if every island in the series of One Piece is not on this tier list, blame the person that made this. I did not make it. But my opinions will be given today, and all opinions are my own. Let's get to it. Okay, we have the classic SABCD. All right, we starting off with Alabasta. Okay. Alabasta is like the first really big saga in One Piece. Because East Blue isn't, I guess East Blue is a saga where it has the consecutive small arcs together, but Alabasta is the first like big saga. So, you know, it has a special place in my heart. It's in the desert, ancient Egypt type theme to it. But would I want to live in Alabasta? You know, I'm gonna have to put Alabasta as far as an island. I don't know if this is necessarily a place I want to live in per se either. So I'm putting it in the B for now, and then we're gonna move stuff up and down if I need to later. You know, give Alabasta a B. But I think I'm gonna do this more so on like the design of the island and how much I like it actually. So let's do that. Alabasta, I'm putting it in B for now. All right, let's go. All right, Amazon Lily. Amazon Lily was a nice little short arc. It was interesting. Got to introduce Bo Hancock. That's pretty cool. And as far as like the design of the island, it's got that nice Amazon jungle type of theme to it. Amazon is pretty cool. It's pretty cool, but it's put it like solid as well. I don't know if it's solid. It's probably good. Let's see here. Arlong Park. Now here's one that I think is pretty underrated, to be honest. I think that this design is super fire and kind of underrated. And Arlong Park is basically the arc that if once you get to it, you kind of know if you like One Piece or not, for the most part. I'm going to have to put this in A for now, possibly moving it up. So let's see. We're going to have to see. Baratier. Okay. So, before I go anywhere with this, sorry, Baratier. Great arc. Mihawk, amazing. Tom Krieg, not amazing. But, great Zoro moments. You get to see Sanji for the first time. It's great. But, as far as this ship right here, with the ship that the chefs be on and stuff, it's not really my style. And I kind of like style, and style points will be given here as well, if you can't tell at this point. So I'm going to have to put it, we're not grading these as arcs right now. We're grading them just as what the island look like and the feel of it and stuff. So I don't know. It's going in D. It's going in D. So anyway, on to Dressrosa. Okay, this isn't a good picture to really depict what this place is like, but basically it's got like a Roman type of theme to it. A really beautiful, vibrant look to a city as well. Amazing arc for sure, way too long, but it's kind of what you get with One Piece sometimes. And this is basically the arc that set that super long standard for an arc. But as far as like as a city and how or an island, I should say, and how it looks, this picture doesn't really kind of do it justice. I kind of put it above these two and put it in the Arlong tier probably. All right, drum. It's in the snow. That's pretty much all there is to it. I'm putting it in C. Henny's Lobby, okay. So Henny's Lobby is kind of like one of those wonders of the world, basically, in One Piece world. How the hell do you have this island that is basically just surrounded by nothing? It's like just waterfall in a circle and like a pit that just goes to who knows. But um underrated as far as like island design, I would say. So it's going here for now, and I kind of put it above these two. I'm probably gonna put it in this. As far as like design of an island and like, nah, I don't know. Can I put it in this? I'm putting it in this for now, and then if we change it later, we change it later. So let's keep it going. All right, we got Fishman Island now. This is a decisive arc for some people, you know. Uh, I like Fishman Island mainly because I love Jinbei. I mean, you see the logo and shit. So Fishman Island is an underrated arc for me. But either way, as far as Fishman Island as a place, it's one of the most beautiful places that you're going to see in One Piece. If you probably go to Google right now, you'll probably find some stuff that will look like a really beautiful underwater landscape, basically. Something that you might want as like a background or something. But underrated as an arc, but as an island, probably even more so. It's going in A, almost S, honestly. Put at the front of this one. Impel Down. Now, is this even an island? I don't think this is an island, but it's okay. Impel Down is the underwater prison that's on the seafloor. So I guess you could argue that Fishman Island isn't an island either. It's also underwater, but whatever. Impel Down as is really interestingly constructed though, because each level you go lower is basically a new circle of hell. And things just get worse each time each level that you go down, whether that's torture in one form or a different form, basically. Read or watch or One Piece. So yeah, Impel Down is interesting for sure in the way that it's designed, and you kind of have to think that they probably at the time when fishmen were basically slaves in the One Piece world, they probably were the people that had to build this thing, because I don't know who else could probably do this besides, you know, people with ancient technology or something, which is, you know, it's also possible, but Impel Down doesn't seem like something ancient really. But who knows, maybe it is. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, back to this. So Impel Down, I guess, is gonna go. I'm gonna put it at the top of B. I'm put it over here. Okay, we got Little Garden. Little Garden was alright. You know what I'm saying? It's the island that we first see the giants and whatnot. But design-wise, it's kind of plain Jane. You know, it's kind of just alright. Put it next to Drum over here. All right, we got Log Town or Rogue Town, whatever. And so basically, this is the place where Gold Roger gets executed in the beginning of the opening of the show, in the first show, and in the first episode, etc. And where Luffy basically almost gets executed at the beginning of him going into the Grand Line, or at the end of the first saga. And, you know, as an arc, is pretty solid. But this isn't an arc tier list. As a town, it's kind of plain Jane. I can't hold you. It's kind of plain. Ain't got too much going on. It's not so bad that it's going next to Baratia, but it could sit right here next to Little Garden. All right, Long Ring, Long Land. This arc is hated by a lot of people. I think it's okay. It's not too bad, but on the lower end of my arcs for sure. But again, this ain't an arc tier list. So as a island, it's very interesting actually. Everything is basically stretched out there, so it's very possible that a former person that had Luffy's fruit could have possibly been the reason that this place looks the way that it does. So it is interesting, and it's kind of funny when you see the animals and they mad stretched out looking. So I'm going to put it in the B column. All right, Marine Ford. So you ain't really got to say too much about this as far as an arc, even though this is an arc tier list. But this is an island tier list, and Marine Ford is an island. I mean, it kind of looks cool, I guess, but for me at least. So where am I gonna put this? It feels like I'm sliding into the C column, and I am. But I'm putting it. Add a drum. The drum will move over this way. There we go. I'll put it at the top of C for now. Maybe I'll move it up later. Okay. Okay, we got O'Hara. Okay, this is a real interesting one. R.I.P. to O'Hara because they got burned down at a certain point. But as an island, it's the island of the scholars where they were studying some stuff that the government didn't want them to be studying, and that's the reason why this island isn't just around anymore. So it's very interesting, the backstory behind this island. But as far as how it actually looks and whatnot, and it's all right. Again, this is an arc tier list, so I can't give it bonus points for like everything that happened there. But I think it's going to in B, maybe. Yeah, I think it's going to be the end of B. Punk Hazard. Okay, so Punk Hazard is interesting because this is where Akainu and Aokiji or Kuzan had their fight for I forgot the amount of days, but I want to say it was 10 days, but reader will watch One Piece and let me know in the comments below. So basically, they were so strong that the guy had magma powers, guy had freezing powers. And so they basically turned this island into half frozen on one side and half lava on the other side. So one side is mad volcanic, and the other side is basically a frozen wasteland. So very interesting, but it's like them days when you don't, or them weeks where it's cold one day and then the next day is real hot and you don't know what to wear that week because you ain't checked the weather that week for some reason. But as far as the design of this island, because that's what this list has turned into now, I'm putting it high. I'm putting it in A for sure. Very interesting. All right, Sabaody. This is actually this word be kicking my ass. Archipelago, and the Sabaody archipelago is interesting because it's a place where people basically get their ships coated with these special bubbles. As you can see, it's a bubble-centric type of island, and that basically allows their ship to turn basically into a submarine and be able to dive deep into the ocean, and that's how you basically are able to get to Fishman Island to begin with. So, as far as creativity goes for this island, it's a pretty creative island. I'm not gonna lie, and it's pretty interesting. So, if any of this sounds interesting to you, watch or read One Piece because it's good. So, I'm gonna put in. Am I putting it? There's a lot of interesting stuff that happens in this arc, but I'm not gonna say it again. I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it right there. Anyway, continuing on. So we got Skypiea. Skypiea is interesting because it's basically in the sky. It's an island that's in the sky. There's more than one sky island, but this is the specific one that they go to in the story. To this point, at least. So it was interesting for sure. It was definitely very different than anything that you see in the show or the manga up until that point. For creativity at that point, it probably would have been in the S tier. But since all of these arcs came out, I'm gonna have to put it in the A tier right here. Okay. All right, so we got Thriller Bark now. Now, Thriller Bark's interesting because it's not even really an island. It's a giant ship. And the ship belongs to Moria. Moria's okay. But They got their kind of gothic Halloween type theme for this island, zombies and monsters and all that stuff. And I'm not Hot Topic wasn't really my shit like that, but creativity as well. So creativity, I'll put it in B. It's a big ass ship for the gothic theme for the most part. We got Wano. Okay, Wano's beautiful. Wano's meant it's like a spring climate, and so you get a lot of different. Basically, I can't speak. So it's got one part of the island's the winter climate, one part that's the spring climate, and so you get a lot of different flavors for this island. And then if Onigashima is considered separate, then which I don't know if it's on this list, then that's something else you could talk about if it's not, because that's basically Kaido's base of operations island, and a lot of crazy stuff does happen there. So it's very interesting. So Wano's going in S pretty easily. So Water 7, not much needs to be said here as well. Also going in S is basically Venice, Italy. It's basically Venice, Italy. And Venice is beautiful, as far as I've seen in pictures. But one day I'm gonna see it. All right, we got Whiskey Peak. Whiskey Peak was okay. Whiskey Peak was okay, but again, another one that was just okay. So Whole Cake. Whole Cake, as far as creativity goes, might be one of the most creative things that Otis pretty much ever came up with. You know what I'm saying? So basically, think what you would think of if you were in like a Alice in Wonderland meets Disney World meets all the food you could think of in the world in different settings, but in buildings, basically in the architecture and the infrastructure and whatnot. So basically, all that in one island is Whole Cake. So Whole Cake's got to go in S just off the strength of the creativity, and it's just being a little bit different than everything else that we got here. All right, we got Zoe. So this is going to take a little bit of explaining. So Zoe, I guess, isn't really an island either, technically. This is basically a giant elephant, like a massive, massive fucking elephant that got that's so big that it has an entire jungle type civilization living on top of the back of it. And this entire civilization of people that live there are actually animal people, basically, called minks. And very interesting. Very interesting little short arc as well, but it's not our tier list. So, off creativity, Zoe low-key could get up here, to be honest. But yeah, I'm gonna have to, because it's like it's a giant elephant and it's got a whole fucking civilization on its back. But anyway, also this picture doesn't really do like justice for you to really understand what Zoe is now, does it? You're just seeing the city part. You're not seeing that it's on a giant elephant. So anyway, let's finish this up. And last but not least, we got Jerma. There's definitely missing a couple here, but okay. Jerma. So Jerma is a mobile kingdom. This is Sanji's pops and them, even though he don't really fuck with them like that. They basically roll around on these giant like snails, basically, that move their entire kingdom around. It's not my shit. It's going in D next to Baratie, because I don't want Baratie to be lonely, and I actually like this arc. So okay, let's go through this one more time real quick, just so that we can say that I showed you the whole thing. So let's go back to the top and make sure that I actually like this. Okay, so we got Ennis Lobby. All right, also let me put this in order if there is one. So we got Ennis Lobby. I'm not putting Ennis Lobby at the top, top. I'll probably put, as far as beauty in an island, I'm probably going to go here. I'm going to go in this order. Beauty, Fishman Island could swap with Zoe, but creativity, I give it to Zoe. So I kind of like what I did here. for the most part. Yeah, I'm satisfied. If you're not, put your opinions down below, please.